Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Just wanted to check in with you this morning. I'm just getting ready to take a break. My fingers, I have been typing so much, my fingers are numb. So I'm going to watch some scary stuff on YouTube. I do that from time to time. There are episodes of American Justice that I like to watch and revisit from time to time that are on YouTube. And this morning I'm going to be watching one about John Wayne Gacy, who is probably one of the scariest killers I have ever studied in my entire life. This is kind of like, oh yeah, refresher course for me. Um, the crash course in how to really be a spooky killer. Sometimes watching that stuff helps me with plotting and characterization. There are bits and pieces of cold-blooded monsters from real life. Sometimes I feel like that bleed into my characters. But I can't even remember how old I was, what year it was when Gacy was arrested. I was old enough to be aware, and that was what forever put my fear and loathing of clowns into my heart. So later, when I was somewhat older and read It for the first time, It by Stephen King, the one with Pennywise the clown, it made complete sense to me that he would be as evil as he was, because for me, the first evil clown I ever knew was a real person, and it was John Wayne Gacy, who used to go in costume as a clown to children's birthday parties and perform while he was murdering young boys and burying them in the crawl space of his house, which is just about the creepiest thing I think a human being can do. So that's what I'm getting ready to do this morning, but I wanted to give a little update on Raver Castillo. I have been working on that quite a bit this week, making some good progress. Um, the hardest parts of that story for me to write are always the parts where it's from Castillo's perspective. And I don't know if that comforts any of you. I think it kind of comforts me because I don't want to be in his headspace very much because it's kind of a terrifying place to be. I much prefer writing from Raver and Briarwood's perspectives. And I will tell you one thing about book 4. I may be able to wrap this series up in 4 books. It's kind of starting to feel that way to me. Initially, I thought it would take 5, but I really don't think that it's going to probably take me that long. Now watch, I've jinxed myself, and it'll take 5 books. But in the very beginning of book 4, you will finally discover who Castillo truly is. Not that it makes it any easier for them to catch him, because he's a really slippery dude, and he's smart, and he goes to dark places that sometimes I have a hard time going to. But that's kind of where he operates from all the time. In the 4th book, there's going to be a lot more exposition about why he is the way he is. So that's what's going on with that. And just before I decided I was going to take a break and watch some American Justice, wouldn't you know it, but a certain detective from Darkwater Bay decided he had something to say. And so I did a little work in that novel that hit me last month about the 800-pound gorilla in the room. I thought at the end of I Am the Monster that I had tied things up so nicely for Helen and her crew, and it came to me that there is one very huge, gigantic loose end that has not been resolved. And so that is what the 17th book in the Erikson Darkwater Bay series is about, is closing that last chapter. And not that I'm not ever going to revisit Darkwater Bay again, I just think the series will take on a different format and won't always be as Helen-centered as it has always been. Because truly the Erikson series has been about her life and the stuff that she's gone through, which isn't to say she won't be in more books, but a new series will not be quite as centered on her as the Erikson series was. So I think that's all I have to say this morning, and I'm going to go freak myself out with some YouTube about John Wayne Gacy. And I hope you guys have a great day, and I hope when I finally lay down to go to sleep today that I will have some very inspirational nightmares, because they help me so very much. And that's enough scary stuff about how my brain works. So have a good day. Bye.